Can you give us 5-10 minutes at most spiel on what you've accomplished over the last 4 years and why you deserve another term?
Well, that's certainly straightforward.
Yeah.
Over the last 4 years, we have worked hard to protect the taxpayers' investment in public services and hold the people that manage those investments accountable for their actions. The good news is most of the people that serve in the public sector do so honorably, follow the rules, and the necessity of my office is that there are always some who don't, and you can't know who those people are in advance. You have to look. So we do three main things in the Auditor State's office. We audit 5,800 financial statements for everything from universities to townships, city halls to counties, charter schools to traditional public schools, and on, special districts of many sorts, libraries, etc. An audit is more than just looking to make sure that the bank account reconciles with the general ledger. It's also looking at the internal controls and testing those internal controls to make sure that they're actually being followed. It doesn't do any good to have internal controls if no one's observing them. We also are the Chief Accountability Officer for state government, so among the other things that we do as part of our financial audits is we ensure compliance with the Ohio Revised Code. Now obviously there are a huge number of different kinds of statutes that govern various levels of government, so we don't test all of those. We examine where the risks are and look at those things. The second thing we do is we strive for efficiency. Government has no profit motive. There's no essential force to try to drive government to be more efficient. In your businesses, in your newspapers, all of you have changed the way you do business remarkably over the last 15 years. Mark wouldn't have been here with his various electronic devices, maybe a tape recorder, but certainly it wouldn't be live streaming or doing podcasts on the web. For government, there's not much to push us into developing new ideas or to becoming more efficient. Performance audits are one way of doing that, to look at where our costs may be too high and where we should look to conserve money, where we should adopt new practices, where we should look at ways to be more efficient. Our office's performance audits over a 2-year period have identified $140 million in efficiency savings at state and local governments. And I'm especially proud of that because a portion of that money comes from things that we did not do prior to my taking office. In 2011, we were able to get Senate Bill 4 passed, House Bill 2, which authorized for the first time, indeed mandated, the Auditor of State to conduct performance audits of state agencies. Prior to that, there had been a question whether the state auditor had authority to do a performance audit. Now it's explicit, and we have undertaken the duties of that legislation with a great deal of enthusiasm. The third thing that we do goes back to our role as the Chief Accountability Office for state and local government, and that is to do the forensic accounting and the investigation so that when money is misspent, when the law is broken, we put together the package for the local prosecutor to be able to hold public officials accountable. In fact, we have a couple of former prosecuting attorneys on staff, and we are not infrequently asked to take the case as a special prosecutor. It just happened in Fairfield County, where the local prosecutor was glad to have the additional resources in my office, and one of my employees actually was appointed as a special prosecutor. So far, more than 80 people have been criminally convicted of their misdeeds. So as a former prosecuting attorney myself, that's a record of which I'm quite proud. It's important that people who deliberately engage in self-dealing, ignore ethics rules, who out-and-out steal, are held accountable for it. There are many other things that we can talk about, and I have no doubt that you have questions, so rather than diving in and trying to anticipate your areas of interest,